What up, guys? It is Shooter here. I'm gonna be giving you guys my official Season 28 Apex tier list. I've been playing a fair bit this season, and it's only the end of the first split with 2 days to go, and I feel like I've got a pretty good idea on where to rank some of these legends and see if I can help some of y'all that have been struggling to uh, climb this season, as it's like the meta's like pretty different, and it takes a while to kind of get used to. And I won't be like actually placing like a lot of the legends like in the F tier and shit. And I don't even think I'll place any of them below D tier, because I'm a pretty big believer on all the legends are actually kind of really strong. Um, and they can be strong if they're used in the right way. But I'll basically get started. Obviously, I'll start with Valkyrie because I believe she is S tier. I've been playing her. She's kind of been my main this split so far. I had like a year break from Apex, and I came back a couple months ago, and I didn't actually realize how strong she's become, especially in ranked. Basically, like you don't have to have your best player on Valkyrie, but it depends on kind of like the team lineup. But if you have a good player playing Valk and who really understands Valk, she is like basically sets up your team for the win in the long run. She has really strong rotations, and her whole kit is just strong. Like her rockets, that you can use them in many ways, whether you're trying to anchor and you're like pressuring the other team, or you're flying in and you can just land on someone's head and completely stun lock them for like 2 seconds. It's really strong. Obviously, she's a recon character, and she can hit the beacons as well. And then the jetpack is just super useful for taking height in fights, especially like in E District and basically most maps. Um, yeah, and that's basically what I could see. I'm trying to make this a really quick video. Trying not to make this a 30-minute video. I'm trying to get like 10 minutes, and I don't know if I'm gonna achieve that, but like that's all I could say about Valk. Keeping it short, but she is my favorite this season, and she's strong. Um, for another S tier, we'll obviously start with Octane as well. This motherfucker is strong. He got nerfed a couple weeks ago, and he's fortified. I don't think he gets fortified on his Stim Surge anymore, but the fact that you can keep spamming Q if you do his perk upgrades right, you go the left ones every time. He's a motherfucker. He's the S tier. He's the ultimate skirmisher, and you normally want the best player on your team running this guy, and that guy has to be um, pretty good with his jump pads, because jump pads especially in higher tier rank, they're gonna get you killed. But if you can rotate your team and be like 10 seconds ahead of the enemy team, and you're setting up your team, the jump pads are strong. There's not much I could say about him. Just being he's just a good fucking legend. If you play, Octanes are strong, and they're hard to deal with for a 1v1. So another thing I wanted to say with Octane is, you basically, if you're running a comp lineup in ranked, you need to be running an Octane, at least someone on skirmisher. I just wanted to say that, because yeah, you always need a skirmisher, and preferably an Octane, because yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but you need Octane. And I've never liked Octane, but like he's that good at the moment. He'll definitely help you guys get some dubs, that's for sure. Alright, next one, we go Bangalore. I would put, I'm gonna put her in A. I would put her in S tier. I know there's a lot of Bangalore mains that love banging. I, I'd, I don't play her as much, but I'd say no. I'll put her in S tier. I put her in S tier because I hate 1v1ing a Bangalore, especially because I'm a controller player, and she drops smoke on the floor, and she's basically a roller player's worst nightmare. Like if she's an MNK player as well, Bangalore's just strong. As a kit, the smokes are fucking great. You can smoke out the enemy team for pushes, and you can smoke yourself with the perk upgrades for heals. And the Bangalore ult is great for creating distance, or trying to pressure on a push. And also the perk upgrades can clear enemy tacticals and shit like you know, caustic traps and fences. She's good. I would put her in A tier, but I know there's a lot of people who play Bangalore, and she is S tier. But for lineups, you know, it's a bit tricky. It's not tricky. You need two of the other people running a skirmisher or a recon, and then you can make the Bangalore work. She just doesn't work by herself without movement. It's a very heavy movement meta, and yeah. Next one, Revenant. I put him in A tier because hey, he's another strong 1v1 hero, but I don't like his hitbox. Obviously, there's a lot of Revenant mains as well, and I see a lot of them in ranked, and they're always on strong teams. He's kind of just a Chad hero. He got a lot of HP. The Q's nice. Yeah, I like to crouch up on people with the fast passive. You get normal walking speed with the crouch, so you can definitely you know, int and entry a lot of teams before they even realize. The ult's way more better than what it used to be. The ult gives you so much HP, it's nice, especially when you can keep it going. When you're knocking people, it refreshes. But yeah, I don't know. He would be S tier, but I don't see much. I feel like he's not really a good team hero. The only thing he's good at is basically being an Octane, where Octane can do that way much better. Like, you know, entry damage and shit like that. Rev's good, but yeah, I would put him lower, you know. But this is going to be a nice tier list where I respect all the legends because most of them are all good, you know what I mean? Fuse, I put him, even with his new upgrades, I think he's good. I would put him A tier because obviously everyone runs him, especially in high tier rank. But I'd put him in B tier if you're really trying to win. Depends. You need a good M&K player that can hit the Qs for like crazy pressure. But this will go into what I'm going to say with the next hero though, is like there's better options. He's obviously the jump stuff is cool. He can jump in the air now and get away. It's pretty hard chasing a Fuse, but and the new tech that I've kind of learnt this split is I don't really care how fast you can run. I'll get you because I'm Valkyrie. So yeah, he's good, but yeah, you can catch him. The ult, it's good for pressure, but it feels kind of weak, even with the new update that came out like a week ago that supposedly made it stronger. I've definitely been getting hit with them harder, but it doesn't just feel like a game-changing hero in a way. Definitely strong in the end zone, but for my next character, I'll put Maggie in S tier because she basically does the same thing as Fuse, but her drill is so strong. Her perk upgrades, we get the SMG bonus, movement speed is really strong as well, and the ult it just completely fucks me every fight. If I get hit with that Maggie ball, I'm done, and it's hard to you know, really fight someone when you're hit with that. It's just insane amount of pressure, and she fits with the Octane kind of vibe, the meta. You got a Maggie with an Octane, and they're just running at you. It's constant pressure is insane. That's all I could really say. She's just a way better Fuse, and if you like Fuse, you should probably be playing Maggie, especially if you're M&K. You can actually hit the drills, because I play Maggie on roller, and even though I have stick drift when I'm trying to hit these drills, it's still worth it. Just the pressure's insane. Next hero, Ballistic. Put him in C tier because obviously he's not as strong as what he used to be. He's a pain in the 1v1, but his Q's not as strong as what it like definitely used to be. Everyone remembers the Ballistic meta and stuff like that. I feel like if you have a really good player running Ballistic and your whole team's I'm gonna say this a lot, but if your whole team's mindset is playing off the Ballistic, then yeah, he can be good. But apart from that, I would say he's just a C tier legend at the moment. There's just way better options. Pathfinder, I'm put him in C tier as well, sadly. I know a lot of people will be upset about that, I don't know, but everyone knows that Pathy's like not as good as he used to be, and he needs a buff big time in the next, maybe hopefully next split or next update, next season. Yeah, there's just better options for a skirmisher, and even these passive upgrades are a bit shit because most heroes can just scan the fucking beacon anyways now, so yeah. And his zipline is not good. Might as well just run an Octane or someone else who can rotate you better than a one-way dimensional zip. But if you're playing with a cracked Pathfinder and he knows what he's doing, he could probably be, an A tier, B tier hero in a high tier rank situation. But yeah, he's pretty one-dimensional. Wraith, I'll actually put her on B tier. I don't see too many good Wraiths on rank, but I feel like if I put my mindset into Wraith, I could probably use her pretty good if you know how to use the rotation like ult. Um, Obviously, you see a lot of Skids players with using the ult with, like in fights, and they're going back and forth. That's crazy. Um, you definitely want to be using this ult to rotate your team, especially late game. That she can be really good that way, late game. And the Q's pretty strong. Obviously, you can get away, but yeah, there's better heroes. I'm talking like I should put her in C tier, but she can be good in ways. Um, that's all I gotta really say about her. Horizon, same thing with Wraith. Like the kit's good. I'm actually Horizon main. I love Horizon. But in ranked, I can't play her because I just feel like her kit's not good. Like in low tier rank, I'll play Horizon because the enemy team likes to group up a lot, and you can get away with the black hole, and you can get away with queuing up in the air in front of everyone. But in a high tier rank lobby, in a master pred lobby, no chance. You queuing up, you're probably getting beamed from like 9 different teams, and yeah, it's no good. She's a great 1v1 hero, but yeah, not in a late game. I would put her S tier if it was, in a different scenario, pubs or something like that. Ashe, yeah, I'll put her in C tier, but like, yeah, she's kind of shit now, and like it's kind of the same thing what I said before. If you got a team that's just playing off the Ashe ult, then yeah, fair enough, it could be good, but it's not as good as what it used to be. And yeah, she's dead ass is trash now, and yeah, but it's I would say it's a good thing. Like I played Ashe when she was strong and like a while ago, and yeah, you just kind of get sick of it, and Apex tends to do that, nerf the character, and everyone stops playing it, and I'm fine with that. Ashe will be strong again in the future, but yeah, she can rest now, and she's just rarely playing her ranked. That's all I really got to say about her. Alter, we're putting her in S tier. She's one of the big 3. I would say you need an Octane and an Alter. You don't have to, like I said, it would be better if you ran the fucking Octane with the Alter, like, because Alter's not good by herself as just the only skirmisher, unless you got a cracked Alter who knows what she's doing and she can straight up just, maneuver her team throughout the map. Then she's good, but yeah, she does need a little bit of help. But like as the free stack, Alter's great because obviously the resets. Everyone knows Alter's a pain in the ass to fight. You don't get the first off. You're not getting no KP, especially in third party situations. She's strong if she's used on your side, but on the other side, it's a pain to deal with. But yeah, she's one of the big 3 for sure. Bloodhound, even with the new update, I was trying to run the Bloodhound meta at the start of the season, and I thought, like he was strong again, but I'd probably put him in C tier, sadly. I thought he was around A tier, B tier at the start of the split, but he kind of just fell off, and I don't really see many Bloodhounds. Sadly, the hitbox is annoying, and I feel like that the scan is still pretty weak. Like, you have to be in his ult to get a lot of scans popping, and yeah, like the HP is nice on the knock, but that's about it. I wish he was a bit stronger. Crypto, I'd probably put him actually A tier, surprisingly. I don't see a lot of cryptos, but I play crypto for fun when I'm like just bored and having a bit of fun in like mid tier rank, and he's really fun to play. In high tier rank, you can pull it off if you have a really cracked crypto. The constant intel and just the way the drone works with the banners and stuff, he's strong. And everyone knows if you're playing a good crypto, it's a pain. Everyone thinks crypto's a meme character, but he's actually fucking super strong. I put him in S tier, but it might make a lot of people mad. But I reckon he's a good A tier hero. I'm not gonna lie. You do see some strong cryptos, man. He can be really strong. Seer. I've also really good Seer the other day, and he made me think this motherfucker's S tier. I'm definitely gonna be sussing this now that I just hit master on my my second account, and just I've been playing for fun, and I think I'm gonna be maybe testing out Seer at the start of this next split in 2 days, because I versed this guy the other day and he was just constantly queuing me, and I think he's a lot better than we all think. Um, especially when you run into these high tier ranked teams and you think they're cheating and stuff like that. It's not because of the Seer's passive, but it's just like the pressure of the Q and stuff, and they know everything. Yeah, this guy's strong. Um, you got to know how to play him, and I feel like I would put him A tier, uh, but I haven't played him yet, like really properly. It's just based off what I've been seeing, and yeah. But I think there's good potential for sure. Advantage, I'm gonna put her in D tier. Um, I said I wasn't gonna put many heroes in D tier, but there's not too many where in a ranked situation, Advantage is not really gonna get the job done for you and your team. The Q is really nice. Like I'm actually Advantage enjoyer, and the Q is really nice. Sometimes get beamed off it, but the ult can be nice for an entry knock. Uh, but that's about it. Like when it recharges and you pop an ult excels, it can be strong because you just constantly got poke damage for free. In a game where you're like, fucked for ammo, that's probably the only good situation. But apart from that, there's just better recon players to play for sure, 100%. Sparrow, I'm gonna put Sparrow maybe A tier. He kind of he kind of works like well with Maggie. Um, if you're like constant pressure, the constant cues. I mean, I can't stand as a controller player. I can't stand fighting a good Sparrow where you're just constantly looking around for fucking, you know, the scanners and you're trying to shoot them when and like they're looking at you and yeah, I don't know. It's just annoying. He's definitely an annoying character to fight. There's definitely some cool stuff you can do with the movement as well, especially if the M&K. And his ult is really strong if you know how to use his ult properly. And the perk upgrades can be pretty rewarding as well. I say he's a well-built character, but yeah, there are better. He's not in the big three for a reason, obviously, and yeah, yeah. I would just say he's a good A tier hero. I'd maybe sometimes put him in B, but I definitely see a lot of Sparrows, that's for sure. Gibby, I'm gonna put him in D tier. I know I'm a Gibby enjoyer, but in ranked, just running big meat man. Especially as a support, is no good. The bubble's no good. You're gonna get fucked by a Maggie. Every second team's got a Maggie, dude. Um, and yeah, like his ult can be good, but I don't think the split's even good for Gibby ults anyways, apart from Broken Moon and stuff like that. So yeah, I would put Gibby on in D tier. Sadly, Lifeline, I'm gonna put Lifeline actually on A tier. She's close to like being in the big three. I wouldn't say that, but there are a lot of good lifelines, and if you get a knock on the enemy team and they have a lifeline, it does change things completely. It changes the whole show really because you can't really just run in there and push. They have a full reset there, and yeah, Lifeline's are definitely strong as fuck. And I can respect that. Surprisingly, I'd actually put Mirage also in the same situation here because I know a lot of people are going to be surprised by this, but you're versing a good Mirage, man, you got to know it straight away, and the tech that you can do is insane, and especially the resets. I know there's a lot of noob Mirages that don't know like how to insta-res and stuff like that, but like I'd say this guy is so good. The solo queue is kind of mid-tier rank and just having fun. And yeah, you can kind of get away with a lot of funny stuff, that's for sure. Loba, I put her in B tier. I would put her in C tier, but I think as she can be used well in the right hands, especially like her Q's good for getting away, obviously. Excuse me. The ult's really strong for resets and stuff, especially when you're getting a res off and your boys need loot and stuff like that. There are better supports to run, and I would say Loba's more fun to play as a solo queue player. If you know what you're doing, yeah, she's good. But as a free stack, no, Loba's no good. If you're trying to really gain RP, no, you won't run Loba as a free stack. Newcastle, put him in D tier. Very situation. No, wait. If I could put him in between C and B, this guy can even be A sometimes used in the right hands. But it takes a lot of setup for that. You got to make it to late game to be really set up for Newcastle to actually like really control area, lock down an area and end game with like the ults and his Q. He's really strong late game, but early game the hitbox too big for me and I can't play with that. And yeah, especially if you're solo queue, it's not going to get the job done because mainly if you're trying to climb in solo queue to Masters, everyone knows Pred's pretty unattainable in OCE. Obviously, you need a proper dedicated free stack, but yeah, grinding the Masters is pretty good. And yeah, you're not going to get that job done solo queuing as Newcastle because you kind of need to be the guy if you're solo queuing. So I'd probably put him C tier, some maybe D tier. But yeah, Conduit S tier. I'd say she's the best support right now. Especially if you're running like the big three lineup, you're running like a Alter, Conduit, Octane, or you know a Recon with the Octane and then a Conduit. Obviously the blue reses are nice. And then the Q, right, is if used properly, right, it's supposed to be used on the Octane. You know, it's for the guy who's doing the entry knocks and stuff like that, so he can get a bit of HP. And obviously, it goes hand in hand where the Conduit's passive. I believe this is true. Conduit's passive actually stacks on top of the Skirmisher speed boost, so she's just running like crazy. And can always keep up with the high tempo movement and stuff like that, as it's really hard as a support player to actually keep up with, you know, your skirmishers sometimes, especially when they're like really high elo and stuff like that. You know, they be moving and stuff like that. So yeah, she's really strong for that. Caustic, I'm gonna put him on B tier for controllers. I'd say he's probably one of the second best controllers. If you can get a house and stuff like that, especially in E District or even Broken Moon, he can be really good. Just controlling areas with obviously everyone knows how Caustic works, and I just put him in B tier. I wouldn't say, you know, obviously there's way better lineups to be running, but if you're feeling like funny and you want to run some Caustic maybe for a couple games, hopefully you win some RP, yeah, it can be fun. And yeah, the barrels are just really strong. Obviously, with the perk upgrade as well, and you're sitting in your own gas, just constantly getting barrels. Yeah, it's insane. I just realized the last three are controller heroes. So I'd actually put Watson, surprisingly, on A tier. If you know how to play Watson, she's really strong. You can get away with solo queuing as Watson if you can, you know, trick your team into actually playing smart and using their brains. She is impossible to win in a 1v1, you know, especially with her perk upgrade. She's basically, you get overflow on her, and you get the perk upgrade where you're like recharging double cells each cell. She's really fucking strong. She's just constantly healing, and obviously she's just spamming, you know, pylons everywhere and stuff like that. And especially her, she gets her ult even faster now. You damage the enemy team, or the enemy, or your ult takes ordnance damage or something like that. It charges your ult, and you get ult so much, man. Especially that you can hold 2 ult cells, really strong. Rampart, I'd put her in C tier. She's like mid to C to B. I play Rampart when I'm like having fun, low tier, mid tier rank. But in high tier, no, you got to keep up with the lobby, and you can't be playing Rampart unless you're like really dedicated on getting set up for zone. Yeah, she can be really strong. But yeah, that's all I can really say about Rampart. Catalyst, I thought she was going to be the best controller this split. I wouldn't put her above Watson, but no, yeah, I wouldn't put her above Watson, but her Qs can be really strong. I'd probably play her over Caustic if you know how to play Catalyst, because she does have a bit of a rotation in her, and the Q upgrades are actually really strong. If you get a lot of people get the invisible perk upgrade, like where the Qs are actually invisible, but if you get the upgrade where it does double the slow and double the damage, it can be really good, especially when teams are trying to ape you, because it's the meta is like, you know, octanes and stuff running at you right in your face, jump padding in, and they hit one of those cat Qs, man, they can't get away, and you can get a good beam off. It works really well on E District and stuff like that, on staircases and all that. But yeah, as far as the tier list for this split, I don't know if I do a tier list next split. Depends if, you know, a lot of the legends get updated. Sometimes they do a lot of, especially in the next split. Sometimes they nerf or they buff a lot of the heroes. But yeah, I'd say that's pretty good. I mean, Crypto and A tier is pretty weird, but like, I kind of being nice about it. But like, yeah, Universal Good Crypto is really strong. But apart from that, yeah, I don't know. I just felt like doing this video. And if any one of my friends or stuff like that are wondering who to play and what to play, this is probably the best thing you could probably look at, because I've put in too much hours this split so far, and yeah, I feel like yeah. And as for my big three, I would run Octane, Alter, and the third character is a flex. No, so I don't know. The big three, you gotta be running a recon. You need the Octane. Octane's a must, and the best player has to be on Octane. It doesn't always have to be on the best player, because some of the free stacks I run, I consider myself as the best entry damage, and like I'm gonna get the first knock always. But I don't always run Octane. I give that to some other people sometimes, because I feel like if you can run a good Valkyrie, Valkyrie's fucking insane. Like I on my life, dude. Like Valkyrie is insane. She is like the apex predator. Um, and she's pretty hard to catch if you know what you're doing. And yeah, she can just create a lot of momentum for your team, and just fly right over those rocks and rotate. Yeah, she's really good. But yeah, for the big three, I'd say a big four, big three, fucking Alter, Conduit, Valkyrie, and Octane. Oh no, sorry, yeah, and you got to put Maggie in there somewhere. You can run a little bit of flex, like Valkyrie, Octane, Maggie. You don't always have to run the Alter. That's how it depends on how you and your boys are actually playing. But yeah, the Alter is good if you're not feeling so good on your fights and you need to reset a lot, or you're getting third parties a lot. Run the Alter. But apart from that, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and that will be it for my Split 1 Season 28 tier list.